Okay, so before we do the Control A and bring up the chart of accounts, let's look at a couple of things you need to know. This file right here, didn't mean to do that, is your converter file. It holds all the code, does all the conversion, runs all the routines from the user form. And wherever you put this file is going to be the path that you want to store your CSV exports from QuickBooks. And then this converter file will build the pipe delimited.txt import files for encode. And they will also be stored in this folder. So wherever you put this file, if you put it on your desktop, you're going to have a mess. Don't put it in my documents. What I suggest is, let me zoom in. So build some folders, put them on your desktop. And to show you what I mean, we have a copy of that file in that folder. There's a copy of the same file, converter file, in this folder. And all of these folders. And I've got a bunch more funds to build. I've only got 5 funds here. I need 8 more. And the due to, due froms, I'm going to separate those. So that'll be, good grief, 19, 20 folders just for due to, due froms possibly. Anyway, yeah, so take your time when you lay out your strategy on how you're going to export your CSVs from QuickBooks and import or build your import files for encode. So one of these belongs in each one of those folders. All right, so we're back in QuickBooks, and let's look at exporting some of these revenue accounts to CSVs, in case some of y'all don't know how to do that. And you don't want to use Excel, you want to use CSVs, because there's 2 more extra steps to convert Excel to pipe than it is a CSV. Anyway, let's pick this one here, do a Control Q, or you can right click. Some people like to right click, a quick report. Pay attention to your date. We want to go to an end of a month, and I'm going to the end of last month in case we get started on our data imports with Tyler Tech in August. So I'm going to do July. Today is August 17th. In Corpus Christi, Texas, the sparkling city by the sea. It's 103 degrees outside, in case you're interested. That's probably in the shade, under the truck, in the sun, I don't know. Pick last month, and if you don't get started on your data conversion until October, then you know that you need to bring in August through September. So this fiscal year to last month, we're going to Excel, create a new worksheet, select this right here. I don't know if that cursor is big enough. Anyway, create comma separated values. We are going to export. I don't know if I can get all this junk on the screen or not. Okay. So do not use the parent account. Use each individual revenue account by itself. If you do more than one at a time, I don't know what's going to happen. All them ones and zeros I wrote are going to hit on the floor. So we're going to save this as this account number and this account description. And so you see that I've already exported it one time, but we're going to override it. So let's just pick that. We are in encode expense. We want to be in encode revenue because we have a revenue account. and you can see I have one up here already. This will override it. Like I say, if you get 2 or 3 more months down the road and you haven't done or you started on your conversion with Tyler Tech, then you can come back in and override it for the whole year or up to that very last month or the very day they're doing it. Just depends. Save it. And we will close that. Let's go down one. Control Q. No activity in that one. Go down one more here. Let's see. Where do we have something? We've got something in sales tax. Control Q. Be sure to change this to the last month or whatever month you're using. And create new worksheet. Comma separated. Export. It's going to ask you to save it. Remember, use the account and account description. 1203035. And I've got it right here, sales tax. So you notice it gave me, well, actually it didn't override it. How about that? It just, general fund, okay. Yeah, it should have overwritten it. Anyway, it only happens when you're making videos. So I need to get rid of one of these. But the sales tax already exists, so when we save this, there you go. We can do one more. Let's do plumbing permits. Right click, quick report to last month. Excel, new worksheet. CSV, export. That one is going to be 1205215. We have that in there. We're going to select it, override it, and we are done. And you would do the same thing with expense accounts. Control Q brings up the report. Let's do one. No activity. Excel, create new spreadsheet, comma separated. Don't forget, we're in revenue. We got to change over to encode expense. The account number for this is 1210-610. And we've already got some TXT files in here, but that's okay. So that's all I'm going to do on that. You can come back and watch it a little longer if you need to. So let me get all this shut down. We're going to bring up the spreadsheet with the code in it, and let's see what we can make happen. All right, so we have launched the Converter Excel SM macro enabled spreadsheet. This is your working folder, so you know whichever one of these files that you run is going to give you the path of what folder you're actually working in. So we know we're in encode revenue. We have 38 CSV files in that folder. As a matter of fact, we can take a look at it. Here they are here. Here's one that we overwrote. We overwrote sales tax. See the 8/17, that's today's date. This processes all of the CSV files in that folder. When you click this, it's going to run and create a tab in the spreadsheet down here for each CSV file. This one will build all of the export files, convert them to pipe delimited.txt extended files or extension files. This will show you what folder and what's in your folder if you want to look at it. This register this product, that's for a later time. Excuse me. And you can delete all the sheets if you add CSVs or update things. Obviously, if you imported or exported a CSV from QuickBooks in July and you're not doing your conversion until August or September, then you would want to go back and overwrite all those CSVs with the current end of month or whatever date you're doing for your conversion. And I think that's about it. You would want to kill all of the TXT files that are in there and then rebuild them with this button here. This tells you again how many CSV files are ready to be converted, how many TXT files are in the folder, there's none, and how many CSV worksheets we have in this workbook. And you can look down here, there are none. So let's process the CSVs. That's the first step. What it's doing is opening that CSV, stripping out everything, and rebuilding the headers with the account number and the account description. That's why you see the screen kind of flashing here and there. And we should end up with 38 sheets or 38 tabs on our workbook. Let's see what happens, because it's always a video. Something can go crazy. All right, it worked. We can scroll back and look at all the data on this header. Let me zoom over here. So this is a header that gets imported into Encode. Excuse me. So you have account and the account description. The header requires these fields right here: type, date, number, name. Most of the time, the journal entries don't have a name, the automated journal entries we use. This is a memo. This is how it's split between what bank and what account, or it went into this bank, but it also credited this account. And then, of course, the amount. And we are on EMS County Ambulance. So let's open the working folder. This is after the CSV is stripped. And where is that? And right there. So if we open the CSV, you can see what the code does. It takes out all this information, puts this, moves it up here, deletes these 2 lines or 3 lines or however many lines are blank between the header or the header row and where the data starts. And then it rips all of this out and rips this out too. And when you close it, don't save it. Let's go back to that working folder. So we have no TXT files, and we need one for each one of those CSVs. So we're going to build those. It doesn't take too long. Better than importing by hand. Let's go back to the working folder and let's take a look at one of these TXT files. So this is what gets imported. Let's see if I can get this in the screen where you guys can see it. So up here is the account number and the account description. We have the type field, date field, number field, name field, and like I say, most of the time our auto JEs don't have names. Memo field, how it's split, So we debited the bank and we credited this account number here, and here's the amount. And you'll notice the double pipes right here. That's because, excuse me, there is no name for that. And so that becomes a null field and plenty good as far as Tyler Tech's concerned. If you have to go back and bring in a couple extra months, then I would start from the beginning of the year to the end of that month, whatever it's going to be. What you would want to do is kill your TXT files. They're gone. See, no TXT files. Then you want to delete all of the current sheets and get rid of those. That'll clean up your workbook. And save and close. All right, and the last thing is creating a couple of new folders. So we can right click, new folder. Let's move it up here. Let's call this debt service revenue. And we'll make another one. No, I don't know what happened there. Debt service. No S. And remember, we want one of these guys right here. So I'm going to do a Control C. Put one in here. We'll open up debt service expenses. Control V, put one in there. Now then, the last thing you want to do, or maybe the first thing, if you create a new folder and you copy this over, depends on where you copy it from, is if it has activity or not. So double click it. And we have nothing in the working folder. That's good. And we also have no TXT files, we have no CSV files, and we have no worksheets.